This is Baalbek in the Lebanon, and undoubtedly a Roman temple here. Temple of Jupiter that I'm sitting in, and behind it the temple of Bacchus, dedicated to wine. Those Romans knew how to have fun. A Roman site for sure, but what about this bizarre enclosure wall that surrounds it, which is totally separate from the Temple of Jupiter?
The stones of Baalbek are so huge that no modern crane on Earth could lift them. So how on earth did ancient builders move them thousands of years ago?
What if the greatest mystery in the ancient world isn't in Egypt or Jerusalem,
Baalbek, which is located in Lebanon, and I had the great privilege of going there,
but buried deep in Lebanon, hidden in plain sight?
This block and another two are actually far older than the Roman period.
Like, what is the weight of that? What's the overall weight?
That's 1.7 million pounds.
Deep in the Beqaa Valley of Lebanon lies Baalbek, home to some of the largest stone blocks ever quarried by human hands, or perhaps something far beyond human. These megaliths, weighing hundreds of tons each, have baffled archaeologists, engineers, and historians for generations.
It was the view, very firm view of archaeologists, that there had been no megalithic architecture. When I say megalithic, I mean literally big stones, stone circles, huge constructions, nothing like that before 6,000 years ago. They are not saying that it also wiped out a lost advanced civilization of prehistory. I'm saying that.
Were they the work of an advanced ancient civilization, natural forces, or something even more extraordinary? With new discoveries shedding light on this ancient enigma, the mystery of Baalbek may finally be closer to an answer. So grab your favorite drink, because what you're about to discover will change how you think about ancient civilizations forever.
This is Baalbek in the Lebanon. Each of these three blocks weighs 900 tons.
The impossible stones that shouldn't exist. You're standing in front of stone blocks so enormous that each one weighs as much as 4 jumbo jets. That's the reality at Baalbek, Lebanon, where ancient builders somehow moved and positioned limestone megaliths that modern engineers struggle to explain. The star of this show is something called the Trilithon, 3 colossal stones that form part of the temple foundation. Each of these behemoths weighs between 750 and 800 tons. To put that in perspective, the heaviest blocks used in Egypt's Great Pyramid weigh about 15 tons. We're talking about stones that are 50 times heavier. But here's where things get really wild. In 2014, archaeologists discovered something even more incredible in the nearby quarry. A stone dubbed the Forgotten Stone, or the Third Monolith. This monster weighs an estimated 1,650 tons, making it potentially the largest worked stone block ever created by human hands. And get this, there's another partially worked stone in the same quarry called Hajar al-Hibla, or Stone of the Pregnant Woman, weighing around 1,000 tons. These weren't just random chunks of rock. They were carefully carved and shaped with precision that would challenge today's best stoneworkers. The question that keeps archaeologists awake at night is simple. How on earth did ancient people plan to move these titanic stones? Remember, this was long before cranes, trucks, or any modern lifting equipment. Yet someone thought it was perfectly reasonable to carve stones heavier than modern buildings. What's even more puzzling is the precision. These megalithic blocks fit together so perfectly that you can't slide a piece of paper between them. No mortar was used, just pure engineering genius that created joints so tight they've survived earthquakes, wars, and thousands of years of weathering. Some researchers suggest the builders used wooden rollers, ramps, and thousands of workers pulling in unison. But when you do the math, even that seems nearly impossible. Moving an 800-ton stone would require coordinating maybe 15,000 people working in perfect harmony. Imagine trying to organize that many people to move something the size of a small office building. The mystery deepens when you consider the terrain. These stones weren't just moved a few feet, they were transported from the quarry to their final positions, fitted with surgical precision, and somehow lifted into place as part of a massive temple complex. The Roman Connection and Ancient Secrets. Now here's where the story gets even more fascinating. Most historians tell us that Romans built the temples at Baalbek during their occupation of the region, roughly 2,000 years ago. They constructed magnificent structures dedicated to Jupiter, Bacchus, and Venus on this site, which they called Heliopolis, the city of the sun. But here's the million-dollar question. Did the Romans actually build the megalithic foundation, or did they simply build their temples on top of something much, much older? Many archaeologists believe the massive stone platform underneath the Roman temples was already ancient when the Romans arrived. The construction techniques used for these foundation stones are completely different from typical Roman building methods. Romans were brilliant engineers, but they typically used smaller, more manageable stones and concrete. The megalithic foundation at Baalbek is unlike anything else they built anywhere in their vast empire. Recent archaeological work has pushed back the timeline of human settlement at Baalbek much further than previously thought. Pottery fragments and other artifacts suggest people were living and building here during the Neolithic period. That's potentially 8,000 to 10,000 years ago. Could the megalithic foundation be a remnant of this much earlier civilization? What makes this even more intriguing is the discovery of stones that shouldn't be there. Some of the massive columns in the Temple of Jupiter are made from Aswan granite, a type of stone that only occurs naturally in Egypt, nearly 1,500 kilometers away. How and why did ancient builders transport these enormous granite columns across such vast distances? The logistics are staggering. Moving those granite columns would have required an incredible understanding of engineering, massive resources, and trade networks spanning the ancient Mediterranean world. This wasn't just local construction. This was an international mega-project that coordinated materials and expertise across different civilizations. Some researchers point to the sophisticated mathematical precision found throughout the site. The megalithic platform is built to exact specifications, with perfect right angles and measurements that suggest advanced knowledge of mathematics and astronomy. The entire complex aligns with celestial events, indicating the builders had deep understanding of astronomical cycles. And here's something that gives mainstream archaeology headaches. The actual construction techniques used to create these perfect joints between massive stones remain completely unknown. Modern engineers have proposed various theories involving copper tools, wooden wedges, and sand abrasives, but none fully explain how ancient builders achieved such precision on such a massive scale. Theories that challenge everything we know. Okay, so we know ancient people somehow managed to create this incredible megalithic complex, but the how and why have spawned some absolutely wild theories that range from plausible to downright mind-bending. Let's start with the more conventional explanations. Some archaeologists suggest the ancient builders used sophisticated systems of ramps, levers, and wooden rollers. They point to evidence of ancient quarrying techniques found at the site, including tool marks and partially finished stones that give clues about their methods. The ramp theory goes like this. Builders would have constructed massive earthen ramps leading from the quarry to the construction site. Teams of workers using wooden rollers could theoretically move even enormous stones up these gradual inclines. It would take tremendous coordination and probably years of work, but it's technically possible. Another theory focuses on the use of wooden cranes and pulley systems. Ancient engineers were incredibly clever, and some researchers believe they developed lifting mechanisms far more sophisticated than we give them credit for. Evidence from other ancient sites shows that civilizations developed amazingly effective mechanical advantage systems using simple machines. But then there are the theories that push boundaries. Some researchers have suggested the ancient builders had access to lost technologies, perhaps advanced metallurgy, unknown lifting techniques, or construction methods that disappeared from human knowledge. One fascinating hypothesis involves acoustic levitation. Some researchers have experimented with using sound waves to move heavy objects, and there are intriguing legends from various cultures about using sound or vibrations to manipulate massive stones. While this sounds like science fiction, cutting-edge physics research has shown that acoustic levitation is actually possible under specific conditions. Others point to the precision of the stonework as evidence of unknown tools or techniques. The perfectly smooth surfaces, exact angles, and incredibly tight joints suggest manufacturing capabilities that seem beyond what we typically associate with ancient technology. Some researchers wonder if ancient civilizations developed sophisticated tools that haven't survived in the archaeological record. And then there are the really wild theories. Some people have suggested everything from anti-gravity technology to ancient alien intervention. While these ideas aren't supported by scientific evidence, they highlight just how difficult it is to explain Baalbek using our current understanding of ancient capabilities. What's particularly interesting is that Baalbek isn't unique. Megalithic sites around the world, from Pumapunku in Bolivia to Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, feature similar mysteries involving massive stones moved and positioned with incredible precision. This suggests that ancient civilizations around the globe possessed construction knowledge that we're still trying to understand. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Ancient people were incredibly ingenious and resourceful. They developed sophisticated techniques and organizational systems that allowed them to accomplish seemingly impossible engineering feats. But the exact methods they used remain tantalizingly out of reach. Latest discoveries and ongoing research. The mystery of Baalbek continues to unfold as modern archaeologists use cutting-edge technology to probe deeper into this ancient enigma. Recent discoveries have only added more questions to an already puzzling site. The German Archaeological Institute has been conducting systematic excavations at Baalbek for decades, and their recent work has yielded some incredible insights. The discovery of the third monolith in 2014 completely changed our understanding of the site's scale. This 1,650-ton behemoth was found lying in the ancient quarry, still partially buried after thousands of years. What's remarkable about this discovery is that it suggests the ancient builders were planning to move stones even larger than the already impossibly heavy trilithon blocks. The third monolith was carefully shaped and prepared for transport, indicating that 800-ton stones weren't the absolute limit of their ambitions. Ground-penetrating radar surveys have revealed that there's still much more to discover beneath Baalbek. The entire area is riddled with underground chambers, tunnels, and structures that haven't been fully explored. Some of these underground features appear to predate the Roman construction by centuries or even millennia. Recent cleaning and conservation work has also revealed new details about the precision of the stonework. Advanced 3D scanning technology has shown that the megalithic blocks were cut and fitted with tolerances that would be challenging to achieve even with modern equipment. The surfaces are so precisely matched that the joints between stones are virtually invisible. Modern engineers have attempted to recreate ancient construction techniques using period-appropriate tools and methods. These experimental archaeology projects have provided valuable insights, but have also highlighted just how extraordinary the achievements at Baalbek really were. Even with teams of experienced craftspeople using replica ancient tools, researchers struggle to match the precision and scale of the original work. One particularly intriguing recent discovery involves the tool marks found on the unfinished stones in the quarry. These marks suggest the ancient builders used techniques that don't perfectly match any known ancient construction methods. The patterns of cuts and shaping show a systematic approach that modern researchers are still trying to decode. Geologists studying the site have also made fascinating discoveries about how the ancient builders selected and worked their stone. The limestone used in the megaliths has specific properties that make it both incredibly durable and relatively easier to carve when freshly quarried. The builders demonstrated sophisticated understanding of geology and materials science. Perhaps most intriguingly, recent archaeological dating techniques have continued to push back the timeline of human activity at the site. While the visible temples are clearly Roman, the megalithic foundation appears to be much older. Some researchers now believe construction at Baalbek may have begun during the Bronze Age or even earlier. New discoveries continue to emerge regularly. Each archaeological season brings fresh insights that add pieces to the puzzle. But somehow the overall mystery only seems to deepen. The more we learn about Baalbek, the more impressive the achievements of its ancient builders appear. The global megalithic mystery. Baalbek isn't just an isolated mystery, it's part of a worldwide pattern of ancient megalithic construction that challenges our understanding of prehistoric capabilities. When you start looking at similar sites around the globe, the puzzle becomes even more fascinating. Let's take a trip around the world to see other places where ancient builders achieved seemingly impossible feats with massive stones. In Peru, the ancient site of Sacsayhuaman features limestone blocks weighing over 100 tons, fitted together with the same impossible precision we see at Baalbek. The largest block there weighs an estimated 300 tons. In Bolivia, Pumapunku presents another mind-bending mystery. This ancient site features precisely cut blocks of extremely hard volcanic stone, some weighing over 130 tons. The precision of the cutting and fitting at Pumapunku is so exact that researchers have struggled to explain how it was achieved without advanced tools. Closer to Baalbek in Turkey, Göbekli Tepe has completely revolutionized our understanding of prehistoric civilization. This site features massive carved stone pillars arranged in complex patterns, and it was built over 11,000 years ago, before the development of agriculture and supposedly before humans had the organizational capacity for such projects. In Russia, the megalithic walls at Gornaya Shoria feature enormous blocks that appear to have been precisely cut and fitted. Some of these stones weigh over 1,000 tons, rivaling the largest blocks at Baalbek. The site is so remote and the blocks so large that researchers are still debating whether they're natural formations or ancient construction. What's particularly striking is that these megalithic sites around the world share certain common features despite being separated by vast distances and supposedly built by unconnected civilizations. They all feature precisely fitted massive stones, advanced understanding of geometry and astronomy, and construction techniques that remain mysterious today. This has led some researchers to propose that there was much more connection between ancient civilizations than we typically assume. Perhaps there was a shared knowledge base or technology that spread across the ancient world, allowing different cultures to achieve similar megalithic construction feats. Others suggest that these similarities point to a much earlier, more advanced global civilization that has been lost to history. According to this theory, the megalithic sites we see around the world are remnants of this forgotten civilization, preserved at locations that were important enough to warrant such massive construction projects. The dating of these sites is also intriguing. Many of the most impressive megalithic constructions appear to be much older than the civilizations traditionally credited with building them. This has led to suggestions that human civilization developed sophisticated construction capabilities much earlier than mainstream archaeology currently recognizes. Modern analysis techniques continue to reveal new connections between these distant megalithic sites. Similar tool marks, construction techniques, and even mathematical proportions appear at sites thousands of miles apart, suggesting either remarkable convergent evolution of building techniques or actual prehistoric connections between these ancient builders. The global megalithic mystery suggests that our ancestors were far more capable and sophisticated than we often give them credit for. These sites represent achievements that challenge our assumptions about prehistoric technology, organization, and knowledge. Modern attempts to solve the puzzle. Modern engineers and archaeologists are still working tirelessly to unlock the secrets of Baalbek, using experimental archaeology, computer simulations, and advanced materials analysis to test how such colossal stones could have been quarried, moved, and positioned. By recreating ancient techniques with period-appropriate tools, researchers have shown that teams could transport multi-ton blocks with wooden rollers, ropes, and coordinated manpower. Yet, when scaled to Baalbek's 800-ton stones, these methods reveal staggering logistical challenges that push the limits of what ancient builders could realistically achieve. Computer modeling has offered valuable insights into possible construction strategies. Simulations suggest that a hybrid approach, combining ramps and rollers for initial movement with advanced lever systems for final positioning, may explain how the builders achieved their incredible precision. These studies highlight the sophisticated planning, organization, and structural knowledge required to create stable foundations and enduring monuments that have lasted thousands of years. Beyond logistics, research into the quarrying process and materials has revealed the builders' remarkable geological expertise. Toolmark studies hint at advanced stone-cutting techniques, while analysis of the local limestone shows the selection of stone with optimal durability and workability. Together, these findings confirm that Baalbek represents the pinnacle of ancient construction capability, an achievement at the very edge of what was possible with available tools and knowledge. Each discovery narrows the mystery, but also underscores the brilliance of the ancient engineers whose work continues to challenge and inspire us today. The astronomical alignments and hidden meanings. Baalbek's grandeur is not only found in its colossal stones, but also in its astonishing astronomical precision. The Temple of Jupiter, along with the wider complex, was carefully aligned to capture the rising sun during key times of the year. This wasn't a matter of chance. The entire layout reflects deliberate astronomical design, requiring generations of observation and complex calculations. Such planning suggests the builders possessed a far deeper understanding of celestial mechanics than history typically credits to ancient civilizations. Even more striking is the site's alignment with the constellation Orion. At specific times of year, the arrangement of Baalbek's three main temples mirrors Orion's belt, a pattern that also appears at other ancient megalithic sites, such as Egypt's pyramids. This global connection hints at shared or parallel knowledge of cosmic patterns across cultures. Computer modeling has further revealed that Baalbek's orientation also accounts for precession cycles, the 26,000-year wobble of Earth's axis, indicating the builders were tracking cosmic events far beyond the span of human lifetimes. The accuracy of these alignments is extraordinary, confirmed by modern archaeoastronomers using GPS and advanced simulations. Such precision points to a mastery of mathematics and observational tools that should not have been possible with the technology we assume ancient builders had. Some researchers even argue that Baalbek functioned as an ancient astronomical computer designed to encode and predict vast cosmic cycles with breathtaking accuracy. This idea transforms Baalbek from a mere religious site into a fusion of science, architecture, and cosmology. Adding to the mystery, underground chambers recently discovered beneath the complex also align with astronomical markers, suggesting they may have been used as observation points. What's particularly compelling is that many alignments would have been most accurate thousands of years before the Roman period, supporting theories that Baalbek's origins predate Roman construction by millennia. Altogether, the site reflects not just engineering genius, but also scientific insight on a cosmic scale, challenging conventional views of human knowledge and hinting that Baalbek's builders were not just masons, but ancient scientists. The underground secrets and hidden chambers. Beneath Baalbek's monumental temples lies a vast hidden world of tunnels, chambers, and underground complexes that may hold the secrets to how this site was truly built. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed large chambers beneath the main complex, some big enough to have housed the tools and staging areas required for maneuvering the enormous stone blocks that still puzzle researchers today. These spaces appear to have been deliberately planned, forming an integral part of the site's original design, rather than later additions. What makes these underground spaces even more remarkable is their construction quality. Just like the megaliths above ground, the chambers were carved with astonishing precision, smooth walls, exact angles, and a level of craftsmanship that suggests advanced techniques. Some passageways connect different parts of the network, large enough to transport equipment and materials, while others reveal sophisticated drainage systems, pointing to long-term planning and an understanding of how to protect the massive structures from erosion and water damage. Adding to the mystery are chambers with unusual acoustic properties. Sounds in certain spaces echo and amplify in ways that seem engineered rather than accidental. Researchers speculate these acoustic effects may have been used to coordinate large construction teams or served ceremonial functions. Archaeological finds like tools, pottery, and artifacts also show that the underground network was used over thousands of years, likely by multiple civilizations, adding layers of history and complexity to the site. Yet, not all features have clear explanations. Strange niches, geometric patterns, and design elements without any obvious purpose continue to baffle experts. Recent studies suggest the network extends far beyond the temple complex, meaning what we see on the surface is only a fragment of a much larger and more ambitious project. Together, these discoveries reveal that Baalbek was a sophisticated engineering feat, seamlessly blending above-ground grandeur with an extensive subterranean infrastructure. The financial and logistical impossibility. Let's talk numbers, because when you start calculating the resources, manpower, and time required to build Baalbek, the whole project starts looking not just impressive, but financially and logistically impossible for any ancient civilization. Modern engineering consultants have attempted to estimate what it would cost to recreate Baalbek today using current technology. The numbers are absolutely staggering. We're talking about billions of dollars just for the megalithic foundation work, not including the elaborate temples built on top. Consider the workforce requirements alone. Moving a single 800-ton trilithon stone would require coordinating thousands of workers simultaneously. But Baalbek contains multiple such stones, plus hundreds of smaller, but still massive blocks, weighing 50 to 100 tons each. The total workforce needed at peak construction would have rivaled that of entire ancient cities. But here's where it gets really mind-boggling. You can't just hire thousands of people for a few days and call it done. These workers would need to be fed, housed, equipped with tools, and coordinated over periods spanning decades or even centuries. The logistical infrastructure required to support such a workforce would have been enormous. Archaeological evidence suggests that ancient Baalbek was supplied with resources from across the known world. The granite columns came from Egypt, other specialty stones from various Mediterranean locations, and metals and tools from multiple sources. Organizing and financing these international supply chains would have required resources comparable to modern nation-states. The quarrying operation alone represents a massive industrial undertaking. The limestone quarry at Baalbek shows evidence of systematic extraction operations that would have required hundreds of skilled stoneworkers, specialized tools, and sophisticated project management. The partially finished megaliths still in the quarry suggest this operation continued for extended periods. Modern project management experts who've studied Baalbek point out that coordinating a construction project of this scale would require administrative capabilities that supposedly didn't exist in the ancient world. You'd need systems for planning, resource allocation, quality control, and workforce management that rival modern mega-projects. The precision requirements add another layer of complexity and cost. Creating the perfect joints between massive stones requires not just brute force, but incredible skill and attention to detail. The level of craftsmanship demonstrated at Baalbek would require master stoneworkers whose training and expertise would have taken decades to develop. Then there's the question of motivation and financing. What ancient power had both the resources and the compelling reason to undertake such an enormous, expensive project? The scale of investment required would have drained the treasuries of entire kingdoms, yet someone decided it was worth it. The timeline presents another puzzle. If Baalbek was built using conventional ancient construction methods, the project would have taken centuries to complete. This means multiple generations of rulers, workers, and financiers would have needed to remain committed to the same vision across enormous spans of time. Some researchers have calculated that the total amount of human labor invested in Baalbek might represent decades or centuries of work by thousands of people. In economic terms, this represents a capital investment that would have been extraordinary for any ancient civilization. The more you examine the logistics and economics of Baalbek's construction, the more remarkable it becomes that this project was ever completed. It pushes the boundaries of what we believe ancient civilizations could organize, finance, and execute. The controversial theories and alternative explanations. Now we're venturing into territory that makes mainstream archaeologists nervous. The alternative theories and controversial explanations that attempt to account for Baalbek's seemingly impossible construction. While these ideas aren't supported by conventional evidence, they highlight just how difficult it is to explain this site using traditional archaeological models. One of the most persistent alternative theories suggests that Baalbek represents evidence of a lost advanced civilization that possessed technologies we've forgotten or never developed. Proponents of this idea point to the precision of the construction, the massive scale of the stones, and the sophisticated engineering as evidence of capabilities far beyond what we typically associate with ancient peoples. This lost technology theory takes several forms. Some researchers suggest that ancient builders developed advanced metallurgy, creating tools and machinery that could cut and move massive stones with ease. Others propose that ancient civilizations understood principles of physics, perhaps involving sound, vibration, or electromagnetic fields, that allowed them to manipulate heavy objects in ways we don't currently comprehend. The acoustic levitation theory has gained particular attention in recent years. Some researchers have experimented with using focused sound waves to levitate small objects, and they wonder if ancient builders might have scaled up this technology to move massive stones. While there's no direct evidence for this, legends from various cultures do mention using sound or chanting to move heavy objects. Another controversial explanation involves the possibility of ancient alien intervention. While this theory lacks scientific support, proponents argue that the precision and scale of megalithic construction worldwide suggests technological assistance from non-human sources. They point to similarities between distant megalithic sites as evidence of shared advanced knowledge. Some researchers have proposed that Baalbek might be much older than currently believed, potentially dating back 10,000 years or more to a prehistoric advanced civilization. This theory suggests that mainstream archaeology has significantly underestimated the sophistication of ancient human cultures and their technological capabilities. The ancient astronaut theory, specifically relating to Baalbek, suggests that the site served as a landing platform or construction facility for extraterrestrial visitors. Proponents point to the massive flat surfaces created by the megalithic stones and the site's elevated position as evidence supporting this interpretation. Other alternative theories focus on lost knowledge rather than lost technology. These ideas suggest that ancient civilizations developed sophisticated understanding of mathematics, engineering, and physics that was later lost during periods of social collapse or cultural transition. According to this view, Baalbek represents the pinnacle of ancient scientific achievement. Some researchers have proposed that ancient builders used biological or organic technologies that haven't survived in the archaeological record. This might include using trained animals, organic chemicals for stone cutting, or biological systems for organizing large workforces in ways we don't fully understand. The multiple civilization theory suggests that Baalbek was built over thousands of years by several different advanced cultures, each adding to the previous work. This would explain the mixture of construction techniques and the extended timeline, while accounting for the site's extraordinary sophistication. While these alternative theories remain controversial and lack mainstream scientific support, they serve an important function. They highlight just how remarkable Baalbek really is and how difficult it remains to explain using conventional archaeological models. The persistence of these alternative explanations reflects the genuine puzzle that Baalbek presents to our understanding of ancient human capabilities. Whether the answers lie in lost knowledge, underestimated ancient ingenuity, or something else entirely, these theories keep the conversation alive and encourage continued investigation. Baalbek remains one of archaeology's most enduring enigmas, with its colossal 800-ton foundation stones, 1,650 tons unfinished blocks, and precise alignments that defy conventional explanations of ancient engineering. From hints of astronomical planning to vast underground networks, every discovery at the site only deepens the mystery rather than solves it, while modern science confirms the precision and reality of these megaliths. The exact methods behind their creation remain unknown, leaving open the possibility of lost technologies, advanced techniques, or unparalleled human ingenuity. To this day, Baalbek stands as both a testament to ancient achievement and one of humanity's greatest unsolved puzzles. Do you think Baalbek proves lost ancient knowledge or pure human ingenuity? Share your thoughts in the comments.